I don't know what's going on with these devices. This is just some weird stuff going on. But I do want to thank you all who did join me for the past 2 live streams. This is just really weird. Nietzsche was still talking. Nietzsche was still talking, going on, honey, about what she had to say. I have to pray for old Nietzsche. Nietzsche was trying to get it out. But as I've stated with the story, this is a crazy story. Obviously, somebody did not like me talking because I feel like if I didn't know any better, I'm going to be truthful with you. I would damn near think that my phone devices are being hacked because something is strange. I had to jump off the IG conversation with Nietzsche to jump on this live again. I'm not going to stay long. This device here is a brand new device. Why it's not receptive to anything, I don't know. My carrier came up talking about the quality of the stream and this and that. It's just some weird stuff going on. Diamond Dozen, thank you so much. I'm like, I don't know what's going on with the devices. And what's weird is the one that just clunked out, it was plugged up. So there's no way the battery should have gone dead. That's why I had it plugged up in the first place. So it's some very strange stuff is going on. I don't know what the hell's going on. But I thank you all for following the Queen, listening, bringing your opinion. I didn't want to appear rude to anybody in the last stream, but I do get a bit emotional. Is my Bluetooth turned off? I didn't look in it. It should have been turned off. Because it would have never went live with the internet connection if that Bluetooth was on. Because I don't think it even connects to the internet if your Bluetooth is on. It wouldn't even the Wi-Fi wouldn't have connected, is what I'm trying to say. But I don't want to seem rude to people. I know everybody's entitled to their opinion. But as I've stated to Nietzsche and some of you who have followed me for a year or more now, I'm just stern in my ways of thinking. And one thing I don't like is people trying to tell me how to think or how I should think about a situation. Like I said, everybody's entitled to believe what they want, think what they want about this case or any other subject matter. But I'm just the type of person I don't like. You said, yeah, sometimes I know Androids, they go live and it's just funny when the phone battery is on. Yeah, but see, that's the whole point. This phone I was just on was fully charged when I started. And it also was plugged up. And it's never cut off before. So that's why I'm saying there's a lot of weird stuff going on every time I jump on and start talking about these kids. That device never cut all the way off while charged up. It had a plug in it. And it just zonked out. Just zonked. And that's just weird to me. And then now, the one I'm on now talking to you is a brand new device. Brand new out of the box. So I don't know what the hell's going on. It's almost starting to make me think something's funky because the internet service is on. I checked that while I was going live hours ago. The internet service was on and connected. So I'm just like, what is the issue? Because I don't know what the hell's going on. I just said to myself, every time I talk about these kids, it just becomes more weird. It gets weirder by the minute. These uploads from these guys on the ground trying to get, information pertaining to these kids, all these weird, wacky characters pertaining to these kids. It can be the capacity of internet service or how strong your device is. Well, Angels, that's what I think it is. It might be this little device is not up to par. I think my brother has offered to get me something else. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put them all down. And I'm going to let the birthday Santa Claus, if they want to go choose me something else, please do. Because all this is weird to me. And but nonetheless, I do thank you all for listening. Yes, my birthday is next Friday. I will be 50 years old. Hopefully I won't be talking about this on my birthday. I have to try to find a tranquil subject matter, but I wasn't going to stay on here long because I was afraid to even come back on because I didn't even know how this thing was going to even hold up jumping back on because of how it worked. how it acted stupid in the beginning, and it's fully charged as well too. So it's like, I don't know. Sorry. What the hell's going on with these devices? Fully charged, all that. It's just like really, really some weird stuff going on. And it just seems like it's probably the devices. They're just not the best. And I'm just one of those kind of people. I did this as a hobby, being on YouTube, not really investing in trying to, you know what I'm saying, buy all this fancy stuff just to talk. I thought I'd just talk about what's going on, give my opinion, no fluff, no, you know what I'm saying, not the fancy stuff. Just me talking to you, giving you my opinion. But now I see I'm gonna have to get really invested, because this is I can't go live, it seems. I don't know, it just seems really weird. The subject matter, I can't go live. And of course I get more views when I go live. I noticed that. I do get more views going live, and more interaction with you guys in the chat and everything. And I don't want to just be doing the uploaded videos, because I kind of like to get you all's opinions on stuff and want you to call in and everything. But I do have the live stream set up. But as you see, with the way the devices are working, I'd hate to have the live stream interrupted with all that's going on right now. So forgive me for that. It's healthy to have different opinions too. But yes, if you want to do more for your channel, gotta get professional. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I'm gonna let that one go. Okay. Yes. Okay. Gee, wow. Good night. Bad rebuttal is healthy. We definitely went way left. Yeah, it went way, way off. I don't know what she said. I get professional. Yeah. Well, what you need to understand about that, Miss Angels, I'm more of a commentary channel. I started this channel just doing that, just to give my opinion. I'm not on the computer all day. I've never been into computers. I've never cared for computers. That's just who I am. I'm just a regular chick. I'm an old school chick, and I don't get into all this internet stuff. And that's how I was before ever becoming a content creator. That just wasn't my bag. I was never into the internet. I don't want to get addicted to apps and get into all that stuff, because frankly, all that shit gives me a headache. Always needing a username, password, all that stuff gives me a headache. And she just had this was basically just for fun. Right. That's what the YouTube channel was for. Just to bring you to 411, give you my opinion, tap out of here. I wasn't trying to go to Best Buy and drop $5,000-$6,000 on material just to sit in front of the camera and talk to people. That's just not what my mission was. Thank you, Nitra. I appreciate that. But naturally, going live needs, yes, better devices. Frankly, the one I was just going on is a better quality device than what I had. And I just think it's odd that one shut down, because that one has a better picture quality, volume quality, all that. And that whole damn battery said, the hell with y'all. I'm sick of what y'all talking about. That whole thing just went zoop to 1%. And it was weird because it was plugged up. It's plugged up now. The other. And I'm sitting here stunned like, wait a minute. This ain't never done that. Ever. 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 This other one that I just come off of is my better quality device. Better picture, sound. But it had been blinking with the live for some really weird reason. So I just took it at, well, okay. But for the whole battery to shut down, that kind of creeped me out. Because it's like, how can a battery shut down and it's plugged up? I've got it plugged in one of those jelly cones that you can stick your little cords in and, you know, charge your phones or whatever. So that's what threw me off. It's like, how could it be 1% and it's been plugged up the entire live? And I switched to that one. So that's what's really creeping me out. I don't know if it's just saying, well, y'all done talked enough about them kids out in California y'all need to give y'all mouths a rest. But I thank you all for coming back. And I didn't want to just end the live with it cut short where you all didn't know what had happened. But I thank you for your support and thank you for, tuning in and giving your opinion. And nature down there had me in stitches. We were still on the phone, on the video chat. And Nitra was, that damn Nitra hell. I swear she is. What you doing? Just sharing. If you want to stop the buffering, you need a device to keep. Okay. Angels, and you just really trying to give me advice about this? To keep up internet, to keep up with a live with professional, just playing with words laugh out loud. Okay, Angels, I got you, okay? We already know about the devices, baby. Queen knows all about the devices. But that's the thing about a device. You don't know what it's going to do until you actually go live. You're assuming that it will hold the live. It's no way for me to know if a device is going to hold a live or not until I actually go live. So as you see, 2 devices are on. One's brand new, and it ain't holding a live either. So I don't know what to say. So you can call it what you want. The point is, I still find it spooky, freaky that now, even with a new device, the lives don't hold every time I talk about this story. So what I want to challenge myself is maybe I'll jump on here tomorrow, later today, and talk about something else and see if my lives will hold. Because it just seems strange to me that every time I talk about these kids, because that's really all I've been talking about for like 4 weeks now, are these kids. And just a lot of strange stuff goes on every time I go live. It's just weird to me. It's very strange. I'm just saying, it's very strange. Because the other device last week, I had been going live from that one with no interruptions, no battery jumping off dead. And now all of a sudden, last weekend, it wouldn't even hold a charge, just out of nowhere. And I done got other chargers. Somebody brought another charger, plug it in, percentage, go up, back down. And I hadn't even had that one 5 months. So it's some very weird shit going on. It could be the time you're going on too. Well, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't put my finger on any of this stuff because it's just odd that now I'm on device number 3. The one I'm streaming from now is brand new and it's zonked out. And then the one last weekend, out of the blue, been going live on it for 3 weeks. And then poof, it won't even hold a charge. Now, this other device, which is better than both devices that I just came off of live, better quality, name brand, all that. That bad boy, the whole damn bad been fussing. So think what you want, but I don't know. Look, y'all love conspiracy theories. Maybe the government came in and said, well, okay, y'all like talking about them kids out in California. Y'all think we involved? Well, we'll shut your whole damn live down and we'll make you think it's some hanky-panky going on. I don't know. I just think it's some strange stuff. Every time the conversation gets, and that was a heated conversation. And you do have to say to yourself on a brand new device, that's very weird. The first one goes out, the brand new one. Then the older one, that's a better quality. It stops, battery stops. And now I'm scared to even go live from the phones. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just going to have to upload my videos. Just bring you the information without the live chat. It's just some very creepy stuff. Thank you so much, Ricky Shay. I never noticed. Sugar, how you doing? Oh, Jules, you said no, CPS did it, duh. They might, I don't know. Y'all been talking about them so much in the damn chat. They talked about them all damn night. Somebody up in the wee hours working at the CPS building, they decided to, that woman going live, they in her chat talking about we the problem, so we just gonna shut her whole live down. Look, I don't know, just some weird stuff. But seriously, I don't know what's going to be uploaded today, what the other guys on the ground will be doing. as far as their investigations or whatever. But you all do keep the queen in tune. I get a lot of messages through the IG, keeping up, with the videos. But little do y'all know, I do get notifications for AV Watchmen and AV News Crew because I am subscribed to their channel. So I do get the notifications for any breaking videos or any information that they upload to YouTube. I just really think there's something sinister that has happened out there in that desert. I don't know if the truth will ever be revealed about the kids. I just think it's sad that it even has to be a topic to discuss pertaining to these kids. I mean, I just think it's sad to be talking about any of these children. It's just crazy to me. Thank you, baby, Miss Mentor. Thank you so much. Yes, no super chats while I'm on, because I'm not going to stay on long, because I don't want nothing else to jump off on this channel. This is some weird stuff going on. Hey, Jen, how you doing? But I feel passionate about what I bring to this channel. Yes, I hope there's a breakthrough. I know a lot of people have, like I said, different opinions about this case, difference of opinion about the bio mother and the relatives. Some people got different opinions about the family involved, Trezell and the wife, and who shouldn't be talking about who, and who should be focused on this. Well, people are going to focus on what they want. That's why I say every content creator, they do things differently. Like what they're doing on somebody else's channel, I don't do. Everybody brings something different to the table. You either participate or you don't. It's up to you. But it's some weird stuff going on out there in California pertaining to these kids. What happened to these children? I don't know. I just go by my gut feeling. My gut feeling tells me they've been long gone for months. Something terrible, sinister has happened to these children. Trezell and Jacqueline West are behind the disappearance of these kids. I honestly believe that the children are no longer living. If it comes down to some information that the children are alive, that would be wonderful. Where the children will go, that'd be a whole nother subject matter. Hey, Queen, thanks for joining me. That would be very interesting. Because as I've told you all, a lot of times you all don't think about the storyline itself. You focus on one or two things about the story and you dwell on that. But see, I chop up everything. And that's why I bring different titles to my videos. And I bring titles that a lot of people don't think about, won't focus on. Did it ever occur to you, if they are found alive, where would they go? You see, I bring you every variable to the story. I don't jump in the middle of a story. I don't jump at the end of a story. I start at the very beginning. And to me, the beginning was birth. Whether you like it or not, they were born to somebody. Somebody brought them here. And naturally, people come on and they hear a story. They've never followed the story. They're going to ask questions. So they're going to say, well, Angie, where's their mom? Where's their dad? How did they get in these people's custody? What happened to them? Well, they have a right to ask that. You can't tell somebody they don't have a right to ask. And you all can't jump on and say, free speech, free speech. But then you don't like what somebody's saying. You don't like the questions they're asking. Well, they have a right to ask because, as you say, it's free speech. So somebody has a right to say, hey, what happened to the kids? How did they get in foster care? How did they get adopted? How long were they in foster care? How long have they been with the adoptive parents? A person has a right to ask those questions. They just have a right to ask. Because it's not like it's a secret. Thank you, nature. Thank you. It's a baffling story about these kids. I mean, there's just no rhyme or reason where they could be. And it is obvious the parents don't care. They've shown us that. Even if we didn't have these other YouTubers on the ground, walking around, looking, asking questions, going to Bakersfield, going to the other apartments, going to this house that's allegedly Mr. Trezell's father, if I'm not mistaken, it would never matter. It's just something extra to add to this saga. But on day one, when they did the interview, Trezell and Jacqueline told you everything you needed to know. They just didn't tell you what they did with the bodies. But they told you everything you needed to know. They told you they didn't care for the kids. They told you they didn't bond with the children. They let you know that. They let you know that during the interview, that they never care for the children. There was no love for the children. There was no identifying with the children. And that came out the horse's mouth. That didn't come from YouTube. That didn't come from Facebook. That didn't come from a friend or a relative. They let us know that day one, that they never cared for the children, and that they have used the system to hoard children for profit. And whether they sold the children, gave the children away, bartered for the children for something else, other means, or they murdered the children, it was all a cowardly act, whatever they did with the kids. And as I had told you all before, when you going in the belly of the beast, it can get real murky down in there. And what some of you don't think about when you say human trafficking, I'm going to bring that subject up, then I'm going to check out of here. You're talking about a 3 and 4 year old. So what exactly is the long-term result of human trafficking a 3 and 4 year old? And I don't think you all think about that when you say, oh, I think it's human trafficking. Well, did you also think, because I know you didn't, what is the long-term goal of trafficking a 3 and 4 year old? How is that going to work exactly? Because we know that with human trafficking is the sale and trade of sex. Do you want to make me say it on my live? Just asking. Okay, Be Truthful told me to go to Crenshaw. Okay, I will. When you say human trafficking, you need to understand what you're saying. Because as I tell you all, a lot of you don't think before you speak. You just throw stuff out. We're not talking about 10-year-old, 13-year-old. We're talking about toddlers. So when you speak of human trafficking, you need to really think about what you're saying. What is the long-term goal of having a 3 or 4 year old for sexual gratification? That's what you need to understand when you say human trafficking, that it is sex in nature. So think about what you're saying. Do you actually think these people would keep the children long term? Okay. That's what you need to understand, is that if the children are human trafficked, as some of you have fixed your mind to believe, the perpetrator 9 times out of 10 is not going to keep the child alive. Why would he or she? You see, like I said, we're not dealing with an older child. Hello, Sandy. Thanks for joining me. I'm not going to stay on long, Sandy, because I've had 2 disruptive lives here recently. And Queen is not having luck in the live department lately. But thank you for joining me. The thing I'm trying to make you understand is that 9 times out of 10, if these 2 babies were trafficked, the perpetrator is not going to keep the children alive. Because you have to, without me having to be derogatory, you have to use common sense of what purpose they took the kids for or bought them in the first place. And as I state, when you're talking about dealing with toddlers, it's not like dealing with a 10-year-old, a 13-year-old. Yes, the children's bodies are being abused, and I'm trying not to get descriptive, but I want you to think about what you're saying when you say human trafficking. We know that human trafficking is for sexual gratification. So think about what you're saying when you say a 3 and 4-year-old. What makes you think they would keep the child? You are violating the child's body. Don't make me say it on the live. Why would they keep the children 3 and 4? You can use your imagination when you say human trafficking. What will be the end result? Thank you, Queen. Thank you. I did not want to get descriptive, and that's why I keep telling you all, the Queen knows what she be talking about. The Queen knows what she's talking about. A lot of TV. I watch a lot of true crime. I hear the horror stories of children thrown out after they have been kidnapped. And I didn't think I should have to say it in the live. I thought it would be self-explanatory. If you want to use the word human trafficking pertaining to 3 and 4-year-olds, you should use your imagination. If they were kidnapped, it would be the same. They're not going to keep the kids alive. They only kidnap them in the kidnapping game for sexual gratification. So once he or she has had his way, he no longer needs them. Yes. Yes. So same thing with the human trafficking notion. After he or she has used the child up for however long, what is the purpose in keeping them? I'm not saying that they couldn't. I'm speaking on statistically that a 3 and 4-year-old, as I state, is not like a 10-year-old. And you can damage him or her at 10. If, like I said, not trying to be descriptive. Right, that's my point. What it would be the end all. And I didn't think, as I say, I'd have to explain that to you. That should be something you should have already known. You can word this however you want. They sold them. They sold them. It's human trafficking. It's human trafficking. Okay. But then in the same breath, you want to say, I hope they're alive. I hope they're alive. Okay, but do you know the statistics of a child being sold or kidnapped at 3 or 4 for sexual gratification? 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be alive. They were only taken for the purpose of doing a dirty act. They're not going to keep the babies alive. And I never thought I'd have to say that on my own live, because I thought you all would have put 2 and 2 together. But I noticed here lately, I hear that in everybody's chat. I hear that on everybody's channel. I'm going to come off, K-Lady. I just want to let everybody know about the last. I don't want people to think, I abandoned them or got upset, or it was nothing like that. The battery had died for some weird reason, although it was plugged up. You have to think about what human trafficking really means, the definition of it. And I don't think a lot of you thought about that pertaining to a 3 and 4-year-old, that there's no way in hell that these people would buy these kids, take these kids, and then keep them alive and return them back to whomever. They would be of no use. To return. Because the children probably would be in a very terrible state. And I don't think you all really understood what it meant when you say, I think they're human trafficked. And somehow in your mind, you're thinking they're alive. That's okay. Don't worry about the likes, baby. We cool. I don't think the children are alive. I don't think if they were human trafficked that some sick son of a bitch is going to give them back. Because what you have to ask yourself, what shape the children would be in if they were to be dropped off somewhere. Children would be in bad shape. Even if it was a 10-year-old boy or girl, he or she would be in bad shape. That's what I'm trying to make you understand when we talk about human trafficking of a child. These are babies, not even school age. It would be horrific what somebody would have done to them. That's what I'm trying to make you understand. It would be bad. And bad is probably putting it mildly. It could have been an illegal adoption. Perhaps. Somebody mentioned that the other day. Could it be, Angela, that they got the kids from somebody else? And I didn't think about that. I said, interesting. Could they have gotten the kids from somebody else? And most of us never thought about that. Somebody threw that out there. And I guess somewhere in my mind, I don't dwell on that. Because it's like, wouldn't it be by now CPS will come forward and say something like, well, that's not true. We did place these kids in Mr. and Mrs. West's possession. But as you see, they haven't spoken up. So one could also wonder about their demeanor. Why haven't they spoken? Because, I've never addressed that subject much on the channel since talking about these babies. CPS, when are you going to say something? Everybody's wondering about where the children are. Everybody's thinking the children are trafficked and or deceased and or something. Neighbor didn't think anything of it. None of the neighbors do the flower boys. Okay. So, CPS, are you going to tell the public anything pertaining to these children? Are you going to now finally reveal the truth about how these children came to be in the custody of CPS? Because I think whether you want to consider this a secret agency or whatever, hey, Edward, I think it's time now for everybody to stop dicking everybody around and tell the truth. Everybody. I think CPS needs to explain to the public how the children came to be in CPS custody. Tell the whole truth of who did what. Just tell it all. Tell your interaction with the West family pertaining to foster children and adoptions. Any allegations of abuse, sexual abuse, child neglect. How long these people have had children in their custody. How many children were returned out of their custody back into CPS custody. I think it's time CPS comes forward and tells the truth. You have nothing to lose at this point. Well, we just live in a world that's cruel, and the people in it are what makes up the world. Besides the animals and the water, people generate this world. Well, Edward, that's the consensus on social media pertaining to children in general. Don't get them if you don't want them. Don't get them if you don't want them. We get that. But it doesn't work like that. We say this about pets the same. Why you get that dog, but you don't feed your dog. You don't walk your dog. But you love animals. But you don't treat your animal as such. Well, it's the same with the human. You had the baby, or you adopted the baby, or you brought the baby to foster care, or you took up for somebody and brought their child in your possession. Maybe it's not legal, but they let your child stay there because they was having a hard time, or whatever the arrangement is. And or you a babysitter, same thing, but you're not treating the child well. So it's all the same. Children, animals, it's all the same. And there's a correlation. with sick people bringing in animals and children. They kind of go neck and neck, head to head. You don't treat them well. Why do you have them? But you got them. They been got the short end of the stick, Nitra. The kids been got the short end of the stick. And that's what's so terrible about the situation is that I honestly believe, yes, seniors too. I honestly believe that the kids are not alive. I honestly believe the children were only brought to the West into their fold for profit. I also believe, possibly from watching the AV Watchman and AV News interviews and the things they have gathered, that the other family members, okay, Rooster thinks they're alive. Maybe they are, I don't know. I think the other family members are also into the hoarding of children for profit. I just think these people are dirty and they're grimy, and I think they don't have any empathy. I think they are sociopaths, Mr. and Mrs. West. I think they are sociopaths, that they are evenly yoked. As I had told you all 24 hours ago, these two are evenly yoked into Satanism, whatever. These are the devil's spawn. These are Satan's foot soldiers. And 9 times out of 10, these other people who are related to them, who have decided to join the fold of this Foster fraud, they are also Satan's foot soldiers. They're demons too. Now, these other relatives who may not know anything about where these children are, they may be all the way in Idaho or Ohio. They've been lied to. That's to be expected. They don't have any idea that they did something terrible to these kids because they're not in California. And we already know that when you live far away, you can lie about anything, tell people anything, sell them anything. You know how that goes. Aren't nowhere near city or Bakersville. I believe they're in a big city. Well, they might be, but what you have to also tell yourself, if the children in the big city, that means whoever has the children can't never take the kids outside. So that means the kids are going to stay inside whether it was COVID or not. How's that going to work? You're just going to keep the kids captive inside the house? You're just going to keep the kids captive inside the house and be doing what with them exactly? I'm just saying, what kind of life could it be for the kids? Even if you took the kids and bought them a legal adoption from the West family, what purpose is it going to serve to have the children there? They can't roam outside. They can't be outside. They can't play outside. They can't go anywhere. What was the sole purpose of taking the children into your possession? Illegally. You going to adopt some kids or buy some kids to then leave them in the house and not let them go outside? Think about what you're saying. If these children were actually sold to a needy family, let's say, how long are you going to let them just stay in the house? You know they can't come outside because somebody somewhere in America knows that the children are missing. Now you have to risk being caught with some bartered children. Now how are you going to explain that? So then the alternative is they're going to stay inside with those said kids. Once again, how is that going to work? Every waking day, you've got a 3 and 4-year-old in the fold of a home, never seen go outside. Do you understand what I'm saying? And if you have to work for a living, so you didn't think about that, who's going to be watching the 3 and 4-year-old if they are alive? Most people have to work a job. So I'll ask you again, who will be watching the children while you are at work? Thank you. Angels, yes. If the children are alive with somebody for the right purposes, even though what they did would have been wrong buying them, yes, they will be a liability. Because how are you going to get them back if you want to bring them back? Mr. Rooster, I'm not talking about you. You're not listening. See, you're doing what everybody else does. You come in my chat and you're not listening. If you are genuinely taking care and wanted some children, whether you worked at home, work from home, you work somewhere else, what kind of life are your children going to have if they can't go outside? You're not pointing out a possibility to me, you see? You're not pointing out a possibility to me. You jumped in to let me know what the hell's going on with you. That's not what I asked. Okay. How about that? That's the point. I can't even talk in my own damn chat. I've never seen anything like it. Come in saying something, don't know what you're talking about, gonna tell me what something ain't true. It's like I have to keep making the same point over and over every time I talk on my own damn live. You're not gonna keep children if you didn't intend to keep them. That's the point. Hey, Margaret, how you doing? If you got the kids for sexual gratification, how long you think that's gonna go on? 2, if you got the kids and genuinely love kids or wanted kids, but you know you bought the kids, what kind of life could the kids have if they can't go outside their door? You can't take them nowhere because you bought the fucking kids. Think before you come over here. I'm getting really fucking pissed off. Because you people keep coming over in this fucking chat and you don't think before you speak. These kids are missing, allegedly. So even if you bought the kids, how are you going to walk outside with the fucking kids? What the fuck is wrong with you motherfuckers out here? You know what I think? This is what's wrong right here. This bullshit, this YouTube shit. Y'all just like the motherfuckers out there in California. That's what I've come to realize. Yeah. That's what I've come to realize. But you don't make sense when you speak. I know what I'm talking about. I'll be 50 next week, and I'm not no dodo bird. I'm not no dodo bird. And as I've stated, when you look at the statistics of people who kidnap kids, they kidnap them for sexual gratification. They dump the kids. And when you want to say that they're being human trafficked, it is the same. They're going to do what they want to do with them, and then they're going to get rid of them. Jesus, what is it? Think before you speak. I'm checking out of here. I've had just about enough of this bullshit on this box today. I've been on here all morning, and I'm not about to sit here and let my fucking feet swell up listening to this buffoonery and these psychopaths that's jumping in the chat and social media. You all are just trolling from one YouTube channel to the next. Then you're crying about free speech and let me explain myself. And I can say what I want. No, you can't say what you want over here. Because as I've told you all, I'm not about to conform my idealisms to nobody. I'm not going to jump on bandwagons believing everything I hear on social media about any story. I don't believe everything I hear. I always want a receipt because that's the logical way to think. Bring a receipt to the information. But some of you just don't think. You just jump in the chat, say crazy stuff. And then when somebody says something back, rebuttal, you acting like, well, what you getting mad for? What you getting an attitude? Well, because you're coming in wanting me to jump on a bandwagon on something that don't make no sense. If you think about what you're saying, Jesus Christ, you got to think. Most children who are kidnapped, they're rarely returned. Most kids who are kidnapped for sexual gratification. Do you actually think the people are going to keep them? Rarely do they. And then they're 3 and they're 4. So think about the ramifications of having sex with a 3 and 4-year-old. Nitra. I don't know where these people come from. Well, tell me what they wouldn't do. Well, I work from home and da-da-da-da-da. Wasn't nobody talking about you. Wasn't nobody talking about you, sir. I'm talking about a prospective person who is possibly a baby killer, pedophile, sicko. Wasn't speaking about you. I'm talking about somebody taking a child, bartering a child for facetious reasons. I'm not talking about you. Thank you for joining me. When I get in more information, any information that's uploaded, I'll bring you the said information. I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm 47 minutes in. I've had just about enough of this. Thank you, Nitra. Right. Nobody, no charge. Thank you, Monica. There's some of you that's woke out there. Some of you, I don't even have to go back and forth with you because you already know where the queen's coming from. You know what I mean when I'm talking. I don't got to do sign language. I don't have to put a poster back here and pretend that you're in kindergarten. You know when the queen talk, you know exactly where I'm coming from. You know the intent of what I'm. Don't start nature with the buffering. Bye, Miss Lady. You go on. As I state, children may be alive. I don't know where the children are. I am not in California City. I don't know Trezell and Jacqueline West. I'm not related to them. My mammy didn't give birth to them. I don't know them. All I'm saying is it doesn't look good in the children's favor. The children could be alive. All I'm thinking of statistically with somebody who has facetious reasons for buying a child or being handed a child or bartering with the child, 9 times out of 10, the children will not be alive. Well, you know what? Be truthful. I see that. They don't want to listen. And that is their prerogative. But they need not keep jumping in people's chats and comment boxes, bickering with the people, going back and forth with the content creator and other commenters on some shit they don't understand or refuse to understand, and they don't think before they speak, and then they act like, oh, well, I didn't mean, it's like, well, why don't you think before you write a comment? And if I'm not talking about you, why even put yourself into the equation? Well, I do this over here. Well, I wasn't speaking about you. I'm speaking of a hypothetical type of person who would buy a child for facetious reasons. I would hope you're not the person I'm talking about. But I see a lot of these people think the same. They have like minds. Their spirits are the same. That's the reason why they have this type of mentality and they say anything, to spew out anything off their tongue, because they're really just like the people who are fucking talking about out there in California. That's what I'm starting to see. A lot of you are just like these people out here. That's why you can relate to what the fuck's going on with them. You run to their defense. You know what? I'll tell you what. Since some of you think this is a fucking joke, this is, la la land, what the fuck you go out there and take all your little coins from your stimulus? Won't you help Trezell get that bitch a job? How about that? Since you like trolling chats and social media and shit, hiding, gangster typewriters. If this is a joke, why don't you go get on your airplane, go first class to California, go rent your car, Uber, and go out there and hand Trezell and Jacqueline a fucking check. Send them motherfuckers to school so they can get an education. They got great colleges out in California, if you didn't know. Wonderful universities. Great, great schools. So since you all want to be ride or die, Captain Save-A-Hoes, march your ass out there to California and go pay for them some schooling and get them a fucking education. And by the way, get them some fucking parental classes. Do that. They don't get arrested first. Go out there and send them to school. Get them an education. Give them some parental classes too while you're at it. Hell, why would stop there? In case they do get arrested. By golly. Make sure you have some fucking money on their books at the county jail. Keep some money for the commissary, for the two lowlifes. You all want to be ride or die for some baby killers? Baby hoarders, baby barterers, whatever the fuck they did with them kids. You make sure when they serve them bitches an indictment, you make sure you standing right there at the courthouse, the jail, with your pocketbook full of money, and you put some money on the bond if Cal City want to give or Bakersfield want to give a bond, judge want to give them a bond. You make sure you go deep in your pocketbook and you put some money up for the fucking bond if they get a bond. If they don't get a bond, you make sure you keep all your stimulus coins stacked up for their fucking commissary. I'm not what you want. I have tried to be dignified in these lives, and I see it ain't going to happen with some of you bottom feeders. Bottom feeders. You're just like that gutter trash out there in that damn desert. You think just like them. You act just like them. And deep down inside, if we were to be a fly on the wall in your little TikTok shack, you doing some old frivolous, hanky-panky, devilment shit just like them two out there in that damn desert. And that's why, look at me good. That's why you get on your phone and your computer and you stroll YouTube and you can't wait to get in here and troll. You can't wait to go to the other YouTube channel. They're live. Doop, 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 doop. You start off real mild. Then some you just come in for the jugular with your stupid ass comments. You just like him. You just like them. You just like them. And let me say this before I check out of here. There will be another Jacqueline in Trezelle West. There will be another Jacqueline in Trezelle West. There is another Jacqueline in Trezelle West. And they are right beside you at your job, at your church, your neighbors, your friends, your family, your co-workers. We are filled with Jacquelines and Trezelles. And they're the same dirty motherfuckers that sit in my motherfucking chat and the other YouTubers' chats typing. Because you just like them dirty bitches. Yeah, I said that. I'm the queen over here. I'm a right fighter for them kids. Highly favored. I'm highly favored. So like I said, you all think it's a joke. You just make sure that when they get arrested and the judge denies them bond, that you take your stinking ass out there to California and you put some money on them books till them sons of bitches are found guilty in a court of law. And then you trot your ass to the next location and you keep sending them letters and money and put on their books at the penitentiary. That's what you do. That's what you do. Thank you, Nitra. Thank you for those joining me this last hour. Sorry about the other lives that got messed up. I thank you all for who truly support the Queen and rock with the Queen. I really appreciate it. That's right. There will be another Sincere and Classic. There will always be a Jacqueline and Trezelle West. There will always be a human trafficker. There will always be a pedophile. There will always be a murderer. And that's what you need to understand. This is the norm in America. And whether you put a label on it or not, it is the norm in America. I'm out.